Hello everybody, and welcome back to another stream. We are again in XP12 in a new aircraft this time, something we've not flown on the channel before. We're in the IXEG 737-300, the 737. I think you can call this a classic, right? And yeah, so new aircraft. Obviously, we've flown the 737 a lot, but this is an older variant and a really cool aircraft. Now, as I'm sure you will have seen from the title and the thumbnail, I am also using the newly released Mango Studios sound pack for the IXEG as well, and let me tell you, it is fantastic. If you haven't seen the trailer, do go ahead and check that out. You can find it on their YouTube page. I actually did make that trailer as well, so do go ahead, check it out. And there is also a huge discount as well. So if you use code MAC2 in the when you purchase from the Mango Studios store, you'll get 15% off, but only on the IXEG sound pack. So if you do want to purchase it, use the code MAC2 and you'll get a nice 15% off. Very generous. from Mango Studios. And so, yeah, we're going to take a look at the sounds today. And because we're taking a look at a sound pack specifically, I have XP Realistic running, but I've got the sounds on the minimum. So all the sounds you hear are from the sound pack. None of it is XP Realistic. Hey, Sim Crashfly, welcome. Thomas13, welcome, and good evening to you too. Mint Mellow, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, so we are an hour earlier than usual. This will be the new streaming time. It's a little bit easier for me, and a lot of people used to leave halfway through because it was a bit, too late. So I think this time might work better. Do let me know what you think. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it then. I did turn the sounds down for a second because the rain is a little bit loud while I was talking. But I'll turn those up again in a minute. And I do want to brief the route with you guys today. So we are doing, it's going to be a lovely scenic flight, hopefully, although there is a lot of weather. But we are in Norway today. Beautiful, beautiful Norway. As you can tell from the Norwegian livery. And we are here at Trondheim, a new airport for me. I've never flown to or from the airport, as far as I can remember. So here we are at Trondheim, and we're going to be going over to Bergen. I just wanted to show on Volante the weather, because yeah, we are smack bang in the middle of this weather here. Hopefully it should be a little bit nicer once we get to Bergen, but it should be a very nice flight, around 1 hour. If we go to Navigraph here, we can see we are on, we're departing runway 27 with a slight tailwind, but 1 knot won't make a difference. On the Osmo 1 Bravo departure, and then we're flying all the way down to the southwest onto the Lunu 3 Papa arrival for the ILS Whiskey into runway 35. Bergen, very scenic route, very scenic airport, so it should be a really, really nice flight. So we can jump back into xplane. There we are. Glad you're doing well, Mint Mellow. This timing is better. That's good. Alright, so a lot of you saying the new stream time is good, so I'm very pleased to hear that. Right, let's get these sounds turned back up. And let me know if it's a bit too loud or quiet. But anyway, let's go ahead and start the aircraft. I'm going to be a little bit silent during this, so I want you to hear these fantastic sounds from Mango Studios. So, fantastic. Alright, so let's get the rest of this going. Really, really nice sounds. Position. And that's all looking good. Galley power. Emergency exit lights. Fasten seatbelts to auto. Alright. How was the flight dynamics of the IXEG 737? I really like it. As a 737, it flies fantastic. Really, really nice. Definitely, you need a lot of pitch, for sure, when you're landing. It's quite sort of heavy feeling, but it feels good. It feels good, definitely. One of the better flight models in xplane. Right, so let's go ahead and start inputting the route here. Hey, ShipDub, welcome. So actually, what I might do, I'm going to start the APU and let you guys listen to the APU startup. So if I get the F fuel pump on, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it here. It's a bit loud outside because of the rain, but let's start it. Very nice sounds. Very nice. Right, so we've got the APU going. We can actually switch to APU gen. So that's good for now. Pressurization is all good for now. We'll set all this up later. But let's go to reference airport then. Is Echo November Victor Alpha, ENVA. IRS position, let's put that in. And there it is. So ENVA, we're going to Echo November Bravo Romeo, ENBR. And runway 27. There it is. Flight number, we are CUDA 818 as per usual. Finally some retro flying. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta love flying these older jets. Really enjoyable. Right, so if I bring up my OFP here. And we are cruising flight level 360. Cruise wind is 208 at 044. Now our ISA deviation, let me just work this out from the OFP real quick. So the temperature here in Trondheim, we're at sea level. Temperature is 7, so that is a ISO deviation of -7. The ISO would be 15 degrees. Yeah, that's fine. And top of climb OAT is 62 degrees. I can cross-check that on my OFP. And that works out really well. Alright, so transition altitude, let me just check this. Hey Ebru, welcome. Are you using Visual XP or any mods that affect the atmosphere of XP12? I'm not using Visual XP, but I am using a Fly with Lewis script for clouds, and I'm using the Strong Blend and Performance clouds. I will put a link to to that in a second once I'm a little bit once I'm not as busy here, but it's just a simple Lewis script that you can find on the org. Just trying to look at the charts, find my transition altitude. Is by ATC, so we'll leave it at 5,000 then. And let's do our weight. So if we go to pre-flight here, and we can do the weights. Flew into India with the A300 today, and there were cumulus nimbus clouds everywhere due to the monsoon season. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But A300 with CBs, wow. Or cumulus nimbus even. That sounds like a lot of fun. Block, we're going to need 6 tons today. So what I tend to do is just adjust this until I get 6 tons. Go to plan fuel, and you can see we get about 6 tons in there, and we can start the fuel in, and then we can load passengers. And I'm going to match my zero fuel weight from SimBrief. So my zero fuel weight on SimBrief says 42.5. I'm going to match that 42 roughly. It doesn't matter too much, but we'll go 42.4. That works for me. So that's all done there then. And one other thing, the Mango Studios sound pack does have announcements here, and it does also have settings. So we have passenger noise enabled, since we are a passenger flight today. Rotation noise, and then you can change the sensitivity of when you want this noise to occur. Obviously you can change all your sounds percentages as well in the 5-foot call out. In fact, which will leave, we can add it actually for the landing. Right, 23 for the cost index then. And this is not going to autofill. I forget that it doesn't autofill, so you can see our weights here. Zero fuel weight was 42.5. And then, yep, gross weight is 48.6, which matches what we have here. Fantastic. Trim 4.2, we will remember that. And then reserves from the flight plan is 2.5. Alright, go to route then. Sorry, departure arrival. Do our departure. So 27 on the Osmo 1 Bravo, which is this one. Go back to route. And then we're on to Zulu 286. Zulu 286. Onto Luna. Just like that. I see a lot of improvement to the XPlane 11 version. Maybe it's my next plane. It's really nice. It's a nice plane for sure. Hope the Falcon 8X is coming soon. Yeah, from Aerobask. Yeah, can't wait for that. Hey, Egbris, welcome. Yeah, nice of you to be here. Yeah, to catch the live. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Trijet Sim Pilot, welcome. Thank you very much. Ebru, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words, guys. Alright, so activate, execute, arrival, ILS Whiskey 35 on the Lunu 3 Papa, and then on the GoDid transition. Alright, so let's execute that. Just going to go through the legs here, make sure there's no discos, and that looks good to me. So M1, we leave that as it is for now. Flaps 5 works for me. And there's our V-speeds. Fantastic. Trim 4.2, so let's get that set now before we forget. 4.2 is set. Just getting reacquainted with XP12 after spending last year on Microsoft Flight Sim. Missed the physics, but the default airports are really great in XP12. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is default Trondheim that I'm using right now, and it looks really nice. I am using then Auto as well. But yeah, this is default Trondheim, and it's pretty good in my opinion. Not bad at all. Any news about the level up 737s? No idea. I've not heard anything myself. I know they were meant to be coming at some point, and they were in beta, I think, at one point. But I've not heard anything recently, unfortunately. Of course, if they do come out, when they do come out, we will cover it on the channel for sure. Just going to get my QNH here, which is 1001. So let's go. 1001 is set. And set the first officer's side. 1001 set. FMC is all good. I'm just going to put that on the perf page. And then this on the legs page. Right, so we're not on ground power, on APU. Bleeds are on. Let's get the window heat on. Yaw damper. Do our pressurization. So we're cruising flight level 360. So let's just set this. Very important, set these on the 737. Otherwise you'll get pressurization issues when you take off. So 360, and then the Bergen elevation is 171. So let me get that set. 171 set, and this is on auto. So that should all be good. Let's disconnect the ground power. And I'm going to get rid of all the ground services here. Like that. And let's get the pushback. My better pushback tiles seem to have disappeared. I want them. And we'll push. Let me just check which way we're pushing out today. We are pushing, so we're taking runway 27, so we're going to push out nose to the left. And we'll go there. I actually need to update better pushback. Have I ever considered doing voice acting? I've not actually, no. Let's disconnect the jetway here as well. There it goes. ENSB, no, ENVA. We're at Trondheim, Beluga. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I love flying in this region. You know, Norway, Scandinavia. Sorry, Norway, Sweden, Finland, all that sort of area. I guess the whole area is classed as Scandinavia, right? But a really, really nice area. IXEG 737 got updated for XP12 a while ago, actually, now. And get the beacon on in preparation. Let's get this all set up. So map, there it is. Nice routing out. My auto is blurry at low level is a setting for that anyway. You can increase your minimum zoom level, but I don't recommend going above 13 unless your PC and internet can handle it. But if you want to make a post on my Discord, I can help out a little bit better than I can on stream there. Just playing on the store. Yeah, it's on the X Aviation store, not on the X-Plane store. Right, I think we're good here. We do need to set the MCP, but we'll do that as we taxi out. Save a little bit of time. So disconnect the... Alright. Hey, Wycliffe Barrett, welcome, my friend. Excellent aircraft it is. It's very, very good. Alright. You know what we can do? I'm going to open the window here. Because Mango Studios have done some really nice things with external sound when you open the window. So, let's get the engine started. Get the packs off. And we'll start engine number 1 first. I'll remain quiet so you can hear the engine start. Fantastic. Good start on engine number 1. You can close the window now because it does get quite loud. And the pushback is really loud. Let's start engine number 2. And we'll do that from a cabin view. So, let's see here. Go ground. I'll have to try and time this correctly. As M1. Really, really nice engine start sounds. Alright, I will set flaps 5 as well while we're here. All right. Remember, it has quite a strong ground effect when you used to fly an XPlane 11. I think it's the opposite now. You've got to put quite a lot of input to flare it, as the 737 should. I think, yeah, sort of the opposite. Hello, Minor, welcome. Shipped up? Absolutely. It's a fantastic aircraft. Really enjoy it. Very nice sounds. Yeah, the sound pack is fantastic. Non-stop, welcome. Yeah, we'll do passenger announcements. I'm going to have to... you might have to remind me to do these, otherwise I will forget. But yeah, we'll play these in a second here. Going to answer all the questions in the chat. Beluga, the update works in both sims, I think, as far as I know. And they absolutely did remodel a lot. And they're doing another remodel as far as I know. Which is what they're now working on. Weather looks like UK weather. Yeah, it really does. The weather in the UK here has been terrible the last few days. Recently watched a documentary about the British Midland 733 crash where they turned off the wrong engine during engine fire. Yes, and that actually happened about 15 minutes away from where I live. I wasn't alive back then, obviously, wasn't born, but yeah, it's the closest air crash investigation to me, which is quite cool. Yeah. Captain Chairbus, I agree, yeah. Top tier, absolutely. Right. Let's play the welcome announcement here.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard this Boeing 737 aircraft. We will soon be closing the doors and pushing back and starting our taxi at the runway for departure. We wish you a pleasant flight on behalf of our crew, and thank you for choosing our airline for today.
All right, there we are. Really nice announcement, and I believe, as far as I know, more are being added in terms of potentially different regions, as far as I know. Hey, Nikki, welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Guys, Nikki is from Mango Studios, if you didn't know. But yeah, you can assign a keybind. We can do that very quickly now just to show it off. So let me find a button. This button works. So if we just go to here, I think we can go to Mango somewhere. If I can find it. There it is, Mango Studios 737, and you can open sound pack settings or the announcements board, so we'll do that. And now I can open it with a button. Let's go ahead and complete the after engine start. So those can go to continuous. Engines on the gen, APU can go off, APU bleed off, packs back to auto. Pitot static heat on. And everything else looking good here. Taxi runway turn-off lights can go on, ready for the taxi. And let's just set the MCP here real quick. We'll start taxiing. What was our B2 is 137. Alright, LNAV, VNAV. Oh yeah, we can't do it before we take off in this aircraft. So we'll go ahead and taxi. Get the wipers on. Did you hear it? The crash was like 25 years ago, so I wasn't born nor living there at the time. Captain Chairbus, no worries. For the static aircraft, I'm using Traffic Global. It's actually, they do fly around, so it's live traffic for XPlane. Well, it's not live, it's based on schedules and all sorts, but it adds parked aircraft to the stand as well, which is really nice. And sometimes you'll get aircraft taxiing around and taking off and landing at busier airports. But yeah, not an online network. The models and schedules are upgraded from the default Traffic Global one to free sort of add-on from the org page, which I am going to be making a video on. And yeah, do feel free to join the Discord. Always happy to help there. I need to make a plugin list, which I'm currently doing with you know, links and all that good stuff. So that should be released shortly of all my plugins and add-ons and Lua scripts. Yeah, we'll taxi to the gate. What we'll do is when we get to the runway, we'll do an external view power up, and then we'll come back inside and do our toga for takeoff. And let's see. Right, so we can do an after takeoff and then we can do our cruise later on. Very nice sounds. Auto brake RTO, we can get the weather radar on. We're gonna need it. And get this pitched up a little bit. Get the weather on. And we'll put it up 3 degrees, there it is. Hey Stan, no worries at all, nice to see you here my friend. Crazy this airport is default. Yeah, you know, XPlane default airports are really, really good. You know, for most of the time, just use default. There's obviously a fair few payware or freeware I have, which are really, really nice. But honestly, default is good enough. You have all the correct signage, so even if you're on VATSIM or something, and that's something that's going to be quite important, it's all there, all correct. 90% of the time. Right, entering the runway, so landing lights can go on. Strobe light can go on. And we're probably going to taxi to the end of the runway here, past the display threshold and turn around. Because we want to use as much runway as we can. Don't want to leave any runway behind us, because runway behind us is useless. There is a good freeware Trondheim Airport I saw on the org page, but it requires a patch file for the ortho, probably because of this issue with the mesh here. So I may get that installed for next time. But yeah, let's turn this around here. Love how nimble the 737-300 is. Get it lined up on the runway here. And alright, I'm going to just get the wipers to high. Everything else looks good to go here. TCAS can... T8RA auto. And okay, let's... I'm going to power up to 100% from the outside. Then come back inside and we'll do our toga for takeoff. And just to confirm, we have flaps 5 set. So as you can tell, really nice sounds externally as well. And yeah, we are good for the takeoff, so... Look at these windows. I really like how we have these windows in the 737. Alright, so we'll spoil them up 40%. Push forward on the yoke. And toga. Beautiful sounds. 80 knots. Release forward pressure on the yoke. V1, rotate. And alright, gear up, fly by. I hit my microphone a little bit there with the yoke by accident. Let's go own our VNAV. Follow the flight directors. Gonna get the wipers off. Really nice feature. You can hold them in the park mode there. So they return back down here. Very, very cool. Let's get the autopilot on. VNAV. And do a slow flyby here. Very, very nice. Frame rate with this aircraft is really very, very good. As you can see, I'm on about 45 FPS, but pretty much max settings. So very, very nice. Roughly the same as the towless aircraft in terms of my frame rate. 737 does look stubby. It does. Flaps can go up. Flaps 1. Are the ground rolling sounds also part of the sound pack? They are. All the sounds you're hearing are part of the sound pack. I have XP realistic sounds completely turned off. I have the camera movements turned on, but the sounds are completely muted. So everything you hear is the sound pack. Mango Studios is here on the stream. Welcome. Auto brake off. Look at the beautiful, beautiful clouds here. And we can go flaps up completely now. Yeah, no idea what's happening with the level up project. Last I heard, there was some planes in beta. But yeah, no idea what's happening. Get a nice wing view here. Now, I do have an issue with the current version of X-Plane. On long hauls, it is eating my VRAM for breakfast and my regular RAM, which then causes my FPS to drop to sometimes below 1, especially in replay. On a long haul, that is. So I think there's some sort of memory leak or something, because I've never had that issue before. But we should be okay for a short haul like we're doing today. Flight time is only 1 hour. Oh yeah, beautiful. Look at that. Fantastic aircraft to fly as well. And look at the climb performance, almost at 10,000 already. So this can actually go to standard, which is 1013 or 29902. And we'll set a standard on the FO side. Here it is. We're past 10,000, so landing lights can go off. Runway turn off and the taxi lights can go off as well. And the engine starts can go back to off. And everything else looks good to me. Beautiful, look at that. And announcement, non-stop, thank you for reminding me. Let's do the after takeoff.
In a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you hot and cold drinks, as well as a light meal, a snack. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Right, so there's the after takeoff announcement. Next one will be the cruise. And we'll try the turbulence one as well. And we can show off the go around as well later on. Wall of cloud, yeah, I know. Look at this weather. Horrible. Beautiful. Should have waited until after 18,000. Very, very nice. Got a nice nose view here. And let me grab this cloud script link for you guys. I know you guys do want it. There is a version 2, which I'm yet to try the latest version of that. I'm currently using the initial version. So there is the cloud script I'm using currently. And for reference, I'm using the strong blend. And I'm using the performance clouds. Because honestly, you put the clouds to a higher quality, it just kills FPS. So these look perfectly fine. Yeah, there we are. Look at the texture work here, by the way. IXEG 737, very, very impressed with the aircraft as a whole. And partnered with the Mango Studios SAMPAC. Fantastic plane to fly, really is. 737 in general is a very fun plane, but the 300 in particular is so nimble. So nimble. Is there a mod for Atlanta? I heard on forums. So Tearwear Designs, aka Captain Lee, is working on a Atlanta mod, but that's for the Nimbus Atlanta. So you have to buy the Nimbus Atlanta payware scenery, and then he's modded that payware scenery to improve it and bring it up to XP12 standard. But I don't think it's out yet. I have cloud set to ultra in XP12. As far as I know, the cloud setting doesn't have a huge impact on performance, and ultra obviously does definitely look the best. So you get a lot more visual fidelity out of having it set to ultra, with not too much of an FPS hit, as far as I know. Yeah, I'm really happy with the clouds and the lighting. I mean, this is live weather. We're not live time. Because I wanted it to be a nice daytime flight so we can see the beautiful scenery, but it is live weather. And yeah, look at this wall of cloud we're about to head into here. There's our top of climb. Gotta get some screenshots of that. Very nice. And this is the default Norwegian livery as well. Comes with the aircraft. Is that the ride-along camera? Yeah, so this camera I'm pressing Shift F1 on... sorry, no, just Shift 1 on my keyboard to get this slow-mo. And then Shift F2 gives you a fast flyby. I'm not sure if the ride-along camera is new in XPlane 12. I can't remember XPlane, if XPlane 11 had it or not. But yeah, definitely a really nice camera in XPlane 12. One of the many reasons I really love XPlane 12 is the camera system. I think it's excellent. And I'm very much used to the XPlane 12 camera system now, so... I think the clouds are very good. Yeah, I'm really happy with them. He did actually, so the creator of this script, like I said, released a version 2. And also as part of that, it has a control panel, which means you can sort of fine control some of the settings. So I am going to try that, see if I can get a nice preset. And I'll see which one I prefer, essentially. But at the moment, I really like this version. No performance hit for me, it's just very simple Lua script, makes a really nice difference. So we're gonna ascend hopefully over the weather here, but we'll have to see. Yeah, love flying the 737. 300 from IXEG. I really hope they bring out a cargo variant, because I would love to do some West Atlantic cargo ops in this aircraft, and for a 400 cargo variant especially would be really cool. I'd love to see the rest of the variants. Sim Crash Fly, yeah, I agree. The camera system for me is much superior to the one in Microsoft Flight Sim. It always takes me a good second to work out, and you know, especially for content creation, making cinematic shots and all that good stuff, it's much easier in XPlane. Compared to Microsoft Flight Sim, it takes me a lot longer. That is something I hope is refined a little bit better in Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, if you want a flyby view, you know, just for recording your landing or something, it takes a while to get it set up. Whereas in XPlane, you just, you know, Shift F2, position the camera where you want it, and it tracks the camera, it tracks your aircraft automatically, which is really nice. Are there other variants of the plane? So the IXEG 737 only comes with a 300 passenger variant at the moment. But I believe they are working on a freighter variant, and then a 400 passenger and freighter variant, hopefully. When those are coming, I don't know. Yeah, FlyJSim are working on the 727, which I can't wait for, because that thing is amazing. I was very tempted to get the version in Microsoft Flight Sim, because that looks pretty decent. But yeah, the 727 in XPlane 12 is going to be really good. Can't wait for that. And 737-200 as well. Can't wait for that. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy Microsoft Flight Sim, don't get me wrong. Not necessarily as a simulator, more as a game, if anything. I think with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, they've gone more for the game route, which makes a bit more sense. You know, I do enjoy it, but I really love XPlane 12. I use XPlane 12 probably 80%, 90% of the time. The physics are fantastic, you know, and as someone who flies in real life as well, I'm currently doing my PPO in a Cessna 152, and the XPlane 12 version of the 152, both the CL Simulations freeware 152 and the Just Flight 152 are very close to the real thing. Based on my real world experience, the weather system's pretty good. Not perfect, I will admit, the XPlane 12 weather system isn't perfect, but it's, you know, significantly better. And graphics, I mean, as you can see right now, clouds look fantastic. There is some graininess and visual artifacting which needs to be fixed, but it looks pretty decent. Ground textures, you know, auto ortho or regular ortho, and sim heaven, amazing. Where can you buy the IXEG 737? So you can buy it from the X Aviation store. What I can do is put a link to it in the chat here. Captain Chebus, yeah, I do agree with that, actually. You do get a better feeling of location and regional differences in Microsoft Flight Sim for sure. And the immersion is great. But yeah, the physics, the systems, the handling isn't there yet. Although Phoenix are getting close. Phoenix, I will admit, are getting quite close. Their recent update with the A319-21, the landing characteristics are a lot better, for sure. And yeah, there's a link for the IXEG 737. And here we are, top of descent, top of climb even. We're going to be cloud surfing by the looks of it. The aircraft are far superior. I don't know, for Phoenix Airbuses. The Phoenix Airbuses are very good, and great value for money. They are very, very good. I will admit that. They're very, very good. A very good option for people flying in Microsoft Flight Sim, but the towless Airbuses are fantastic as well. My personal favorite. So, you know, we've got good options with both simulators. XPlane 12 definitely has more variants in terms of the aircraft because it's been, you know, we've had XPlane 10, 11, 12. It's been going a bit longer in a way. But I enjoy both, but my preference is XPlane 12, that's for sure. It's been very, very useful throughout my flight training, and I'm sure it will continue to be useful. I have friends who are real-world pilots and have used XPlane 12 and specifically the towless Airbuses, and have, you know, it's really helped them throughout their whole ATPL training, their type rating as well. And I study aerospace engineering at university. I'm in my 3rd year, if you didn't know, and the X-plane and the towless aircraft, actually investigating the systems and the system depth has really helped for my university course as well as a learning aid. It really, really has helped. And in fact, at university we do use X-plane for certain flight dynamic analysis and you know, analyzing aircraft stability and aircraft performance and all sorts. So it's used in engineering as well. Stan, yeah, agree for sure. And it loads very much faster. Yeah, it does. Microsoft Flight Sim takes about 20 minutes from when I try to open it on desktop to when I'm in my flight. X-plane, you're talking 4 or 5 minutes with auto. Turbulence is a lot better in X-plane, Antonio. I do agree. Although in terms of general aviation aircraft, I think it needs refining because I've always found that compared to when I fly in real life, the Cessna 152 is sort of a little bit more stable in X-plane 12, even when there's heavy crosswinds, than it is in real life. In real life, we're, you know, gusting all over the place. I'm having to put all sorts of roll and pitch corrections, even yaw corrections, especially for crosswind landing, and I don't have to do as much in the sim. So I think that could be turned up a little bit, but I'm not sure about the airliner side of things. But it is, you know, I'd say 85-90% of the way there in terms of the weather and turbulence from my own experience. Sim Crash Fly, you make a very good point. Yeah, it's good that there's competition between the two sims. I do agree. Absolutely. And both are pushing each other. You know, Microsoft Flight Sim pushing X-plane on the graphics side, and X-plane is pushing Microsoft Flight Sim on the flight dynamics side. So it is good. Competition is good. Trijet Sim Pilot. Staying tensions is something I really want to try. It is a little bit expensive for me as a student. But it's definitely something I want to try. It does look very, very good. A nice alternative to VATSIM or something. Stan. Yeah, they do different things, yeah, and it's, it's nice to see younger people as well joining sort of the flight sim community and having a go. That's really cool. I'm sure he is getting very good. I'm sure he's got a good teacher, Stan. Yeah, I think if you're getting into flight sim just as a bit of a hobby, then Microsoft Flight Sim is a pretty good way to go because you know, realistic flight dynamics and, you know, really in-depth systems, especially as someone who's new to the hobby, might not be all that important to you. If you're not wanting to be a real-world pilot or anything like that, and you're just flying as a hobby, then sure, I can see the appeal in Microsoft Flight Sim, definitely. I think X-plane really excels for, you know, flight training if you want to be a real-world pilot, or if you're just, you know, you are concerned and you want realistic flight dynamics, realistic systems and all that good stuff. X-plane does have a bit more depth in terms of there's more plugins, more aircraft, more sceneries, but it is more expensive in general. Microsoft Flight Sim add-ons are a lot cheaper than X-Plane. You know what, Stan? I'm convinced that landing a general aviation aircraft is a bit harder than landing an airliner. Airliners are so much, they're so much more stable. Things do happen a little bit faster, but I think you've got to put less corrections when you're landing. The flare is generally a bit more simple, especially in a crosswind. In the 152, at least that I fly, it's constant corrections, and 1 minute you're slipping and you got a crosswind correction to the left, then you've got a correction to the right, so you're yawing all over the place. There's a lot going on when you're landing a GA plane in real life. There's a lot going on compared to an airliner that I know of. I've not flown an airliner in the real world before. Anthony, I do think some developers are coming back. From what I've heard, some developers are coming back as well. It is, it's not nice when developers leave. I get it from a business perspective, but I think in some cases it could have been handled better. But it's nice that a lot of developers have stayed on X-Plane as well, such as Tolis, Flight Factor, Short Final Design, Time Models, all of these scenery developers, aircraft developers. Sound pack developers, Mango Studios, still very much committed to XP12. Yes, the X-Plane community is not as big as Microsoft Flight Sim. That's why the prices are higher. Absolutely. Yeah. Dan, I've not had... actually, I did have one flight with an issue with VNAV, but other than that, it's been okay. In terms of the VNAV. The landing, you do need a lot of input on the pitch, I found, and you need to hold it as well. Other airliners, you can tend to, you can flare and then bring the yoke sort of almost back to neutral, and it'll hold that pitch and you'll touch down, right? In the XEG, it's a bit different in the sense that you need to pitch back quite a lot, but you need to hold your control column back as well and really hold off the flare, if that makes sense. You may see it on the controls when I land, but yeah, it is definitely a bit unique when you're landing it. But I think it feels quite good. I do think it feels quite good. Because it is shorter, the elevators have less of an effect. The moment, the distance between the elevator here and the center of pressure or the center of gravity on the aircraft is significantly less than the 737 NG. So there's, it's got less of a moment there, which I believe is why it needs so much more pitch on when you're landing. But my first few landings, I absolutely slammed it because I was trying to land it like a 737-800, and you can't do that. It's a whole different landing style. Unless you come in a bit faster, then maybe you can balance it out. Oh really? They always descend in flat level change or vertical speed? You flew the real 737s? Interesting. I think VNAV on older aircraft were generally not as well refined as newer aircraft, so maybe they were less reliable. I mean, I know the Beluga, the original Beluga, doesn't have any VNAV at all. The A300 VNAV is, in real life, as far as I know, is not particularly accurate, and you do have to keep your eye on it, and sometimes they just go vertical speed or level change mode. And maybe the same applies for the 737-300. That does make sense. No worries, Dan. No worries at all. And yeah, you know, if you do want help with the landing or anything really, do feel free to post in the Discord. It does feel good to hand fly. Yes, it does. I have to say, I generally prefer hand flying aircraft without fly-by-wire, like the 737s, the 767, the 757. The 777 is really nice to hand fly, the flight factor, but you know, there's less going on. There's less that you need to do. A lot more is accounted for. Airbus aircraft are nice to fly, but yeah, it's a lot easier. I do like, you know, proper hand flying. I do have the flight factor 757. Yeah, I do enjoy the 757. It does have a few bugs and quirks and a little bit outdated in the textures and modeling, but it's still a very nice add-on. Very nice to hand fly. In real life, also, ATCs say that you have to descend at 1,500 feet per minute at 250 or so. I think that's why VNAV's not often used. Yeah, I suppose once you start getting instructions from ATC, then you're just going to go, you know, flight level change or vertical speed or whatever. Yeah, Dan, absolutely. It's got a lot of quirks, but it's still a fun aircraft to fly, absolutely. Succulents, yeah, it's a bit more of a difficult aircraft in terms of throttle control. Absolutely, there's a lot of pitch moment I found. You know, in most aircraft, when you throttle up and down, you get a pitch response as well. You know, you throttle up, aircraft's going to pitch up. I found that it's a bit more significant on the 757, so you do have to sort of account for it and keep it in the back of your mind. But it adds to the fun, in my opinion. It really does. Yes, Anthony, the Zebo. We can't forget the Zebo. You know, I was going to fly the Zebo tonight, but obviously we're going to check out the sound pack. But I do want to fly the Zebo probably tomorrow, actually. The Zebo, hands down, best aircraft in XP12, my favorite. Even though it's free, you know, regardless of the fact that it's freeware, still my favorite. You know, it's got a fantastic AFB. The flight model is one of the best, if not the best, in X-Plane. The VNAV is amazing. Just, you know, the sound's fantastic. It's a great plane. I love it. It's the only aircraft I flew in X-Plane and in flight sim until like last year when I got the towless A321. So I have flown that plane a lot. Yes, Antonio, you are correct. I do have to put the landing gear lever in the off position. That will depressurize the hydraulics for the landing gear. But due to my Honeycomb Bravo, the way the Bravo works is when the gear lever is up, the button is always toggled. So if I try to move the... oh, it does work. Oh. Well, normally in other aircraft, when it will, you know, force the landing gear lever back to the up position, but I guess that does work. So I guess we can do that. But yeah, the Honeycomb Bravo is a bit awkward like that. It keeps the button toggled all the time, which generally tends to override stuff you do in the cockpit, but that's actually worked, so interesting. Yeah, succulents. When I fly the 757, I tend to, when I flare, I tend to float a lot. If you look at some of my previous streams of landing, there have been some very, very, very floaty landings. It's a floaty plane. It really is. And definitely one of the harder ones to really nail the landing on. Oh, do you know what we need to do? We need to do some PAs. So we should have done the cruise, but we forgot. So let's do that now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've reached our cruising altitude and seatbelt signs have been turned off. We do recommend you keep your seatbelts on at all times, just in case of any unexpected turbulence, but the seatbelt signs have been turned off. Thank you so much.
And just to show them off, let's do a turbulence one as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. We are now crossing the zone of turbulence. Please return, sit, and keep your
All right, and then we'll do the descent in just a second when we actually start descending, which we're not far off actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to move the yoke height down. Oh, it's already at the minimum. Okay. Just because it... Oh, yeah, that's better. Now I can see our top of descent. Do you think developers will upgrade bigger airports like Frankfurt and Dallas-Fort Worth? So Frankfurt, we do have the Aviatech one, which isn't bad. That is updated for XP12. Dallas-Fort Worth, I think Nimbus has that one, right? Hopefully that does get updated. There's a lot of large airports which we had for XP 11 which aren't updated for 12 yet, like Nimbus Tampa, Nimbus Orlando, lots of other airports which just haven't been updated yet. So I do hope they are updated, but when they're going to be updated, I don't know. Beautiful. You can see some of the nice orthos we have below us, all from Auto Ortho. Beautiful scenery. And yeah, look at that. Very, very nice. Big fan of the Mad Dog for Microsoft Flight Sim. Is the Rotate MD80 any good for X-Plane? I don't have the Rotate MD80 myself, and we need to just reset our MCP out here, ready for the descent. I don't have the MD80, but I do have the Rotate MD11, and that is an aircraft I'm very impressed by. So if the MD80 is anything, anything like the MD11 in terms of quality, then I'd say it's pretty good. But yeah, I do have the Rotate MD11 and I love that plane. It's a very, very good aircraft. Right, so we're going to start our descent soon. So let's do a PA for the descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure you sit back and tray table and lay your full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is fastened and all carry-on luggage is...
Oh, don't tell me we've crashed. Oh no, I'd jeez, that scared me. I had looks like I had top of descent pause. I did. I'd pause sim at top of descent turned on. Whoops, we'll turn that off. Well, very, very glad we didn't crash there. That scared me. Isn't Mr. X doing KSDF? No, I don't think so. KSDF has been done freeware by $0 Payware, which is a very good scenery. $0 Payware do some fantastic airports completely for free. Frankfurt from Aerosoft is still very viable, just needs XP 12 achievement. Yeah, I've not tried that one. Aerosoft are updating or releasing a lot of sceneries recently, so hopefully they update their Frankfurt as well. But yeah, that's one I've not tried actually. Right, aircraft wants some drag, so let's do that. Put it to the flight detent. You can hear that rumble from the speed brakes. Very nice. Auto brake 1 will be fine. Leonardo is a little bit better, but rotate is very good, missing a couple of features. Ah, right, I see. Yeah, I don't have the rotate MD11, sorry, the MD80. But I know there's, the Leonardo is a decent option, it seems, for Microsoft Flight Sim at least. Okay, so descending through the clouds. I think this is a bug in the XEG current version. The gear lights tend to go red, as if they're in transit, but they're not, as we can see here. So I do think that's a little bug. And I'm going to tilt the weather radar down 3 degrees. And aircraft can't decide if it wants drag or not, I guess. Interesting. Hey N1, welcome. That's you fly a lot more in Norway. Well, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I still want to fly to or from Svalbard. That'll have to be Microsoft Flight Sim because it doesn't exist in XPlane, unfortunately. Unless I get the scenery add-on for it. But I do want to do that flight. But it'll be a bit of a longer stream. But yeah, Norway, beautiful. Definitely somewhere I want to visit. Okay, so let's see where we are then. You can see our arrival route in. I'm going to put a fix in place here, as I always do. I always do a 10 nautical mile fix, just for situational awareness. Does it let me? It doesn't let me do the runway, so we'll just do the airport. 10 nautical miles. And we need to get our ILS set, don't we? So... right, nav. If I bring up my chart. ILS frequency is 110.5 today. So 110.5. And we'll set that on this side as well. 1105. Course is 350. So let's set that. So I'll set that on both sides. 350 course set. And can I... let me see if I can turn the brightness of the weather radar down a little bit. I think I can here. One of these. There it is. So I'll just turn that down a little bit so I can still see my flight plan. Aerosol scenery is very worth it, is it? I'll have to take a look. It's a bit on the expensive side from what I've seen, but I'll take a look. Okay, I don't think it wants drag anymore, so we can put that away. Okay. So we don't have too many restrictions other than we need to be under 8,000 feet and above 6,500. Max speed of 220 knots by BR734, which is this waypoint here. So we should make that just fine. I'm going to set 8,000 on the MCP. About 20,000 at the moment. Yeah, very much overcast conditions. It's Navigraph says VFR conditions still, so I think we're above all the weather. Hopefully we can get below it soon. Well, we're in the weather right now. But the METAR does say cav okay. Local QNH is 09905. So we'll put that in later on as we get closer. Yeah, ILS is all tuned, ready to go. Let's see what announcements. So we have before landing, go around, descent, crew take seats after landing. So we'll do the descent, sorry, no, the before landing soon. In fact, we can do the before landing now.
We've already started our descent into the airport. We expect to land on time as scheduled. We wish you a pleasant stay, and we hope to see you again very soon. On behalf of all of our crew, thank you for choosing our company as your airline today.
There it is. And then what we'll do is we'll do crew take seats as we get closer to the airport. Obviously after landing, after we land, and then I'll show you the go around one when we land. Oh yeah, look at this scenery. This is all auto by the way. And look how nice it looks. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. This is why I chose this route, because it's just amazing. I mean, that looks incredibly realistic there. Beautiful. The mesh work is actually really nice there, considering it's just default mesh. And, you know, just got auto running here. Fantastic. Really nice frame rate. Look, well over 70 frames there. Beautiful. Sandrilla, thank you very much. Amazing cloud view. Yeah, the weather looks fantastic right now. I mean, that is a beautiful view. Even the reflections on the cowling here looks really nice. Nice metallic effect. Yeah, Stan, the exterior sounds are really nice. Definitely. How far is Mr. X6 LA? So he said about a month or two is what he said. Definitely this year at the very least. But of course I will keep you guys updated when that releases, and I will stream it again. From our pre-release stream last week, it's looking fantastic. Very, very nice scenery. And talking of nice scenery, wow. This is why we fly in Norway, because it just looks amazing. Let's get the landing lights, runway turn-off lights on as well. As we're going to descend below 10,000 fairly soon. And we can descend now, 6,500. Keep it going. It is a nice airport, absolutely. And he's done a great job. A very, very nice job. And if you didn't know, so this is something I didn't know actually. If you turn off FXAA in your X-plane settings. Oh, bit of a stutter here. Back. If you turn off FXAA in your X-plane settings, your cockpit textures and your display textures are much sharper. At least for me, on a 1080p monitor, it looked much sharper. It does mean you get a little bit of sort of shimmering and stuff on the on buildings and trees and stuff, but it's honestly not too bad. But everything in the cockpit is much sharper with FXAA disabled, and that's only something I found out like a month ago. Alright, descending nicely. Airport is off to our right here somewhere, but I think we may be too far to be able to see it at the moment. Beautiful. Alright, 10,000 foot, descending nicely. We do need to get our minimums in actually. So, let's see here. What's our minimums today? .364 Class C aircraft. That's Charlie, so 364, let's put that in. 364, there it is. And we can do that on the first officer side. It might be quicker to... It is quicker to just drag the mouse. Perfect. Alright. And our platform altitude is 3,000, so I'm going to get that put in as well. There we are. Wonder if Austin is going to compete visually with Microsoft Flight Sim, or virtually with Microsoft Flight Sim at some point. Xplane and Microsoft Flight Sim are trying to achieve very different things. At the end of the day, yes, they are flight simulators, but what they're trying to achieve as a flight sim is very different. So I don't think Austin's goal is to compete with Microsoft Flight Sim. Basically, you know, his focus is very much the flight models, aircraft systems, weather model, that sort of stuff, rather than visuals. But I do think some visual updates, especially things like fixing dark cockpits, making these clouds a little bit, you know, not as grainy, with less artifacting, would definitely be very beneficial. Can I ask about a 777 flight to Zurich with Laudair at some point? We can absolutely do that. For sure. I know you have a Laudair livery, don't you? So yeah, absolutely, we can do that. Zurich is a very nice airport to fly into as well. Very scenic. Hello, HGSim. Welcome. How you doing, my friend? I'm not using Visual XP today. I'm using a Clouds Tweak Lua script, which I put a link to it in the chat earlier. Aircraft wants a bit of drag. Yeah, I'm using that Lua script and it is fantastic. Beautiful. So auto brake one set. Let's see, what speed are we at? 220. Now, for some reason, you can't take speed manually without disengaging VNAV. So we're going to have to work with that. I can drop the link again for you. Let's see here. And I'm using, on the preset for that, I'm using the strong blend here and performance. Okay, so descending nicely. We actually need to move over to local QNH, which is 9905. Let's do that. And on the first officer side as well. Okay. Looking good here. We have got another aircraft on TCAS here. And I'm going to get the weather radar off now. Otherwise it's going to clutter up our ND. If I go flaps 1, hopefully it should start to bring the speed down. Beautiful. Look at this. Very, very nice. Making our right turn. Let's arm the approach. I really want to take speed manually here, but there's a localizer. Once we get on the glide slope, I guess we can take speed manually. Unless we just disconnect the auto throttle. There's a runway, so looks like we're high. So I am actually just gonna take, you know what, let's do a really long manual approach. Raw data. I get an announcement.
Yeah, the cruise, he's flying, please.
Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Try to get the aircraft slowed down. And raw data ILS, just for fun. We should have a little crosswind from the right, as far as I know. Aircraft really does not want to slow down. Still at 200 knots. I'm probably going to slip it here. Try and get the aircraft slowed down. This aircraft is just not slowing down. We've got speed brakes out, flaps 1, no throttle, still not slowing down. Maybe we orbit. So let's do this. Make a bit of an orbit here as we slow down, because this plane just doesn't want to slow down. Right, there's 180, flaps 5. Right, so very unconventional approach, but it's fine. There's 160. That's a little bit better. Let's try and hold that. And we'll put the gear down once we level off. Try not to get high. Very, very unconventional approach, but that's fine. So we're flaps 5. Let's go flaps 15. And we'll drop the gear when we're leveled off. From what I've found out, you don't drop gear when you're in a turn. Probably a little bit low here. Did we do our VREF? I don't think we did. No, okay. Okay, there's the runway. Gear down. Flaps 25. Flaps 30. No, can't get my VREF. Okay.
1,000.
Alright, let's let's try and save this landing, because it's not going very well right now. Get back on the glide slope. Jeez, need a lot of power. That's a little bit better. Beautiful approach into Bergen.
500.
That's a bit more stable there.
400.
Those minimums will continue.
300. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
You really got to hold it off, hold it off. There it is. Reverse is out. Decel. Yeah, really got to hold off the flare. But that was nice. Right, we'll show the reversers there. Manual braking. Hey, Owls, welcome. Alright. And yeah, we'll vacate here. Jeez, that was a terrible approach, but decent landing in the end. So landing lights off as we exit the runway. Get the APU starting. We will of course take a look at the landing in the replay. Strobe lights off. Alright, yeah, so you see how I really had to hold, I really had to, flare and then hold the yoke, hold it. It's sort of like landing a Cessna in a weird, in a weird way. Alright, so, Bergen, we'll go to the terminal. Look at that. So the speed brakes. Very nice. And take a look at the landing. I think we may have completely by accident landed with full speed brakes out. So we'll see in the replay what happened there. Flaps can go up. It was a decent landing in the end. APU is starting, that's good. And everything else looks good to me. We'll probably take the, not this left, the next left. Always looks like you're taxiing quite quickly in the 7.3 because you're so low to the ground. Ground speed of 25 knots, that's fine for the taxi. And we'll turn left here. And there's a SAS CRJ there waiting for us. Got another 7.3 in front of us. No, it's a Windorow E170, I want to say. E-jets look sort of similar to me. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, aircraft really did not want to slow down when we were like 10 miles out. Alright, weather radar off. on here as well. Perfect. And this stand here, stand 27, is perfect. We'll get the lights off as we park up. And yeah, you'll get some nice previews of the sounds from the external view in the replay. Yeah, we'll park up here. Got the marshaller from Auto DGS. Fantastic plugin. Start slowing it down a little bit. I find the brakes on this aircraft are really nice. They're not touchy. Keep it going very slowly. Stop there. All right. Parking brake can go on. We'll get over, put the APU on the bus. Bleed can go on. And we'll kill the engines. There they go. And alright. Strobe off, anti-collision off, listen to those sounds. They are fantastic. And I will just end the flight on Volanta. Volanta says a landing rate of minus 23 feet per minute. Wow. Alright, so let's take a look at this then. I think I have a bit of a stutter on X-plane. It's been doing this recently. No idea why. But I get really long stutters and I have to wait. There it is. Now we're back. It really takes its time. Yeah, there we are. At the gate. Let's take a look at the replay. There it is. So you stutter. As soon as I try and go into the top menu up here, I get this really long stutter. No idea what's causing it, but I need to investigate it for sure when I get some time. Come on. We want replay mode. There it is. And replay. And yeah, it takes its time to load. I've got no idea why it's been doing this recently, but I might just have to do a fresh install of X-plane unless it's a plugin causing it, potentially. Just let it load into replay. Maybe VRAM. Yeah, that's what I think. I've never had the issue before. I have 8 gig of VRAM, so you know it's not a huge amount. But X-plane is normally okay with it. I think it's the latest X-plane update is just not very good in terms of handling VRAM, regular RAM. It just tends to completely max out. I did have to turn my settings down. But come on, let's get into replay. There we are. Jeez, that took a long time. Let's see if we can get a decent replay going here. I need to think what plugins I've installed and what changes I've made. Because it's definitely not happy with the latest update, that's for sure. So just got to give it a second to load every time we do this, basically. So I do apologize. But it should hopefully be worth it. Yeah, it's not crashing. You might think it's crashing. It's just taking us a really long time to load. You know, we had a great FPS on final. We had like a good 70 FPS. So it's a strange one for sure. See here again, everything is frozen up. I just got to wait until it comes back to me. See, now it's come back to me because I can use the buttons and stuff again. So let me see if I can... Yeah, this might be a better way of doing it. Alright, let's take a look at this from a few different angles then. Without stutters, hopefully. Oh, we didn't have spoilers on touchdown, that's good. Oh, very nice. Alright, let's take a look at this angle here. That was right on the aiming point as well. Happy with that one. Come on, you know you want to zoom in. X-plane. There it goes. Alright, take a look at this angle. Trees in the background look amazing. Stutter right on touchdown. Come on. Come on, X-plane. It is a good screenshot, absolutely. If I could screenshot it. The decent landing in the end. Is it gonna... Yeah, the latest X-plane update has a lot of issues for me. I might roll it back. Because these stutters are just terrible. Never had the issue before. Yeah, I might roll it back and wait for the next update. We'll have to investigate it. Let's take a look at this angle. The lighting looks beautiful. Again, that's a nice screenshot. Come on, X-plane. Beautiful. You can see how I really held that elevator at the end there. Yeah, APU sounds great, yeah. And do we have a nice, one more, because it's going to lag, but we have a nice, let's try and mimic a tower view real quick here. Where's the tower? Oh, there it is. So we'll just put it just next to it. There it is. That's perfect. The lighting is fantastic. Really, really happy with this lighting. Beautiful. Lovely. Look at the texture work on the back of the bead brakes there. And on the flaps. That looks very, very nice indeed. Right, as soon as we get out of this stutter, I will take us out of replay mode. some volumetric grass around the airport, like those 3D trees, I think what that unlocked the sim. Yes, I think if that could be auto-generated like it is in Microsoft Flight Sim, you know, sort of part of the auto-gen where not everywhere, but just within the airport radius, you get, you know, sort of grass, 3D grass, it look very good. Because on aircraft, on payware sceneries, yeah, so on payware sceneries which have 3D grass, it does add a lot to the sim, absolutely. But yeah, Mango Studios sound pack there for the IXEG 737. Very, very nice. If you do want to pick it up, best place to buy it is from their store. You know, you get instant updates there. You can use code MAC2 for 15% off only on the IXEG 737 sound pack. Highly, highly recommend. You get all the oh, I need to show you the go around PA, don't I? So I'll do that now. But yeah, you get the PAs, and I believe more PAs are coming as well. And you know, the whole plug-in for the sound pack and the sound pack itself is fantastic. So we didn't do after landing, so let's do both of these then.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will indicate.
All right, that got cut off a little bit early for some reason. But let's do the go around one as a test now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelts fastened. We went ahead and canceled our approach for safety reasons. We're about to circle back and try again for another landing. Thank you so much for being patient with us at this time.
Very, very nice. All right, so yeah, Mango Studio sound pack, very nice. IXEG 737, fantastic plane. If you're thinking about picking up, it's on the more expensive side. I think it's $90. So you know, it's, you know, priced very similar to the Tolis products, but it is a very, very nice aircraft, and you do get this whole control panel here with all these settings. If you are using the Mango Studio sound pack, set these to the maximum. You got the whole pre-flight for your weights and all that good stuff. Ground services, you can open doors, ground power. You can open other doors here with the cabin crew and the lights, emergency lights, and you do have some failures as well, which is really nice. But yeah, great aircraft, great sound pack, great scenery for this flight as well. And of course, a very great audience. You guys have been fantastic today, so thank you very, very much. Yeah, also looking forward to the 320 Neo sound pack. And that they have released a 319 sound pack, which is very, very good if you did want to pick that up. Xplane Aviator. At least I know I'm not the only one with those stutters in the replay. Yeah, it's a weird one. I've never had the issue before in my whole time using XPlane 12. It's only on the most recent update that it started, so I'll have to investigate. It might just be the update, it might be a plugin or something I've installed. I'll take a look. Could be NVIDIA drivers as well, potentially. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I'll be live again tomorrow, probably in the Zebo 737, actually. I think that'd be quite nice. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.